Thank you very much, Leon. And I really appreciate being part of his big and bold, project. And I'm very happy to be back in Bristol after 39 years when I studied for my postgraduate degree in commercial law, which I did at the university. So for me, it's a pleasure to be here. And it's been an excellent experience, listening from Kerry, to Haila, to Aaron, to Injera. And I just feel so full. For the first time, I encountered a living world. So this world where we are in, the planet, is alive. So if we're to have universities should be coming up with living technology. Not dead technology or Aaron's bullet points. Yeah. So, I mean, it's really a thought that is just running in my head. And I think I can't do a better job, than what Colleen and Karen, they really brought you. I don't need to prove that we have a situation in our world. And it's because we are not addressing it. That's why the situation is there. We want to do things our own way. We want to continue professing and PhDing, the way we know to. I mean, how can we break those laws? How can we cross those bridges? We want to continue. So, yes, this is the world. Welcome to it. So, what we have done, our science, our brilliant science, now you see this. You go there a few years, and, the ice, you see nothing. You see water. And you can find that example. I'm sure Colleen will tell us. All over the world, you find this picture. And that is what our learning, our brilliance is doing to our world. So, the Sustainable Development Goals, they're not perfect. I don't even agree with all. That is the way it should be presented. I'm an old environmental education teacher, so environmental law. So I think, when you bring people in touch with the environment, it's easier for me to communicate to the people I work with about the environment. It is easier for me to reach them, to tell them about climate change by telling them to take care, of the environment before them. But then, this is what we've got. The whole world have signed to it, that let's transform our world. And this is what we've got to work with. And I'm going to be focusing on two of the goals today. The first one says climate, take urgent action. That's what the world is saying. The civil societies, our young people, Greta, all of them. Say, if you love me, if you love us, don't buy me for quotes. Take urgent, go take care of the environment. That's what they're saying. And then Goal 17 is very important. Goal 17 is saying that we need to work together. You need partnership. You can't do it alone. No university can do it alone, no matter how. I dare you to bring the solution just alone. No matter how brilliant you are, give me the solution for how we can work together, how we can be fair to each other, how we can have trade systems that favor both the poor and the rich. Tell me, give me the solution, and I'll come to your school. So Goal 17 says we must work together. And it targets 5 thematic areas: finance, technology, capacity building, trade, and thematic issues. So faculties and disciplines cannot do it alone. We must break those walls. We have a world that is waiting for us. We have a young population that is waiting for university to do what they do best. Learning that drives away fear. Fear, you can't learn properly under an atmosphere of fear. Our children now, being afraid, all the disease, melancholy, you call something, that's not, is that the best we can give the children? But if they come to an institution, where they see research giving life, we have the answers if we will work together. If we will bring our heads and our hearts and our hands together. And it is time to do that. I'm sure you know the story of the elephant, that was surrounded by some blind persons trying to interpret the different parts. This one said, no, it's a tail. This faculty said, no, that it's a tail. The other one says, it's not a tail, it's an ear, Faculty of Science says, no, it's an eye. No, it was until all of them, they brought all the interpretation together and they got it right. It's an elephant, and that is what we need to do now. So, just to reinforce the fact that no one person, no one department, no one discipline, no one university can solve this problem, we need to go out and look for other groups. We need to go look for the churches, for the offices, companies. We need to go look for the civil society organizations. We need to go look for, just people to work with and bring in their wisdom, just like what Colleen did, how she was able to get this award-winning artist. She had no PhD or master's or anything, but she knew her job. And she was able to fight and get her into the faculty. We need to do that so that we don't lose any knowledge. So partnership is the way to go. So how do we do? How do we work? And now I'm focusing on civil society organizations. This is our strength, universities. We know how to teach. We do research, community development, and look, work on opportunities that come. Civil society, they are great. They play a critical role in developing society. They are service providers. They are into education, health, climate change, great lobbyists. So you can imagine if we bring the two together, how our work will become richer. What takes place in our classrooms will become more relevant and will give our students what Stephen Sterling calls the response ability, the ability to respond to things and not to fear, not to chain themselves to death. No, but they'll be able to respond intelligently, in a way that gives them hope for the future. So Kofi Annan said in 2015, before he died, he said, universities need to become dynamic and responsive to socioeconomic agendas, giving priority to innovation, entrepreneurship, and competitiveness, and the issues of justice that Colleen talked about. So, and I just brought examples of what universities are doing around the world. A lot of things, even in this university, I spoke to a few people and I see that you're working with, partners, but you can do more and you can put more life into it and make it more real. So people are doing big projects. It doesn't have to be a huge project like the one we're working on now with Leon, but it can be small projects. And everybody in the university community can contribute. Students, the admin staff, everyone can contribute by working with civil society organizations. And people are working on technological innovations, building homes for the poor, capacity building. They are co-creating new knowledge, different things. And one that touches my heart is uniting North and South together around goals, common goals, solving problems, and doing it with civil society organizations. So we can bring them in. I remember when I left the UN in 2015, and I went back to my university, at Home Rivers University, to set up the department, and I saw that everybody, they were still in their silos. So I said, how do you tell professors that there are new knowledge that you need to begin to bring into the class? What do you do? So I said, okay, I went to the Vice Chancellor, I said, let's start a program that we'll call Town and Gown. So we bring in the professors to profess, and we go out there to the civil society organizations, and those who have worked with their hands, bring them to bring the practical aspects. So we'll identify a problem, we bring the professors, we bring those who are working outside and the civil society, and they come talk about it. So we've had a lot of situations where, you see the professors humbled now, and now asking questions, and now working together, and both working together. And the civil society too say, oh, so this is the theory. Okay, this is the philosophy behind this. This is science. And both of them go back stronger, more able to solve the problems confronting them. And the list goes on, what is happening all over the world. So but the key is that we must make partnerships work. A lot of universities, they have partnerships, but are they really working? When it's just around a project, and at the end of the project, that is it. And when you go like a big brother, there has to be mutual trust and respect the dignity of the other party. You do not go with this dominant partner, these are poor people. Look, they will be so happy I'm coming with my dollars and my pounds, that's not partnership. That's not the kind of partnership that will bring about change. They also, if you go with the big money, so they'll be looking at your pocket, okay? Once they get what is there, and you too, once you get, you run away. What have we solved? Has the world become better? Do we understand each other better to be able to work for change for our children's future? No. So, shared vision, transparency, joint professional development. So we work together and we really seek to learn. There's a lot of humility that we need now because the problems we have, climate change and others, they are bigger. They're too big for us. So if we just go that, I know I'm the scientist, I'm the degree. No, we need to be humble that these are wicked problems, So, and be humble enough to learn and relearn and to unlearn when it is necessary. So then stable funding from over multiple years. We need to find a way to always thinking of sustainability. Sustainability. Because it is what lasts that will be of benefit to our children. Not this, okay, I did this project and at the end of this project, I go, no. How do you sustain, relationships? How do you sustain relationships with the civil society? Then maximum disclosure of finances. Yes. Let's be fair. Yes. Transparency again, that's linked to that. Then we blend project staff. You bring in members of the civil society. It's an opportunity to do what Colleen did. I mean, if you cannot do it, you've come in, okay, we are working with the civil society organization. So let's have one of their staff to come to the university to learn from us, and maybe one of us to go there. So you blend project staff, and everybody becomes better at the end of the day. Then, of course, MOUs. So let's have everything. Let's capture it. Let the MOU be clear on the shared accountability for specific actions. So don't be fluid. Let there be shared accountability. Then clear roles for each partner. And all this takes time. It takes commitment. Are we ready for that? So it's not something that you just go and say, okay, this is just 1 year. And after 1 year, then you write down, we have worked with 10 civil society. We built a house in Lagos. We did this. No. It takes time. It takes dedication. And it takes love, whether you like it or not. And a vision for a better world. So leaders can reproduce only what they have become themselves. We teach what we know, but we reproduce who we are. So we can teach anything, but we cannot reproduce hope if we're not hopeful. We cannot reproduce respect or dignity or equity if we're not. So now, the kind of problems we are being confronted with. You can see our leaders meet, they talk peace, but they are fighting now. Because leaders cannot produce what they are not. And universities cannot. If universities is populated by people who are just concerned with going to the library and writing, all these articles and becoming professors and eminent professors and super professors and that professors and that professors, if that's all at the end of the day. No, we need to confront this thing. This huge monster eating up the hope and future of our children and seeing a Greta, young girl, now being the voice for the planet. Concrete partnership leads to positive message that matter. And that is what you want. So universities become, the knowledge, centers for knowledge preservation, dissemination, intellectual citadels, and engines of social transformation, transgression, new learning, and you do that. Then strong partnership that leads to lasting solutions. That's what the earth is yearning for. Harrison said, universities that pay particular attention to social justice, sustainability, and our shared global community are better placed to address the challenges of educating talent and workforce needed by employers to cause transformation in workplaces. Transformative universities shape graduates who can add value immediately. Transformative university. And that is the vision and the core of the project that Professor Leon and his team are managing. And I hope many in this university will be part of it, because it's going to have the tag, University of Bristol. You cannot transfer what you don't have. So you now have no choice. This university has to become a transformative university. So strong partnerships are fundamental. Yeah. And this is just saying what we would get. I mean, if we commit to this partnership. Partnership is crucial to leadership, again. For without it, leaders lead no one. So you can be the best university in this, but if you are not engaging with people, you are not working with the society, you are not working with them, who are you leading? I wanted to end with this case study, but I'll be so quick now. Please Google it, Juliana and United States. It's a case on now in America, and they are challenging, America and all the fossil fuel companies and saying that the nation's climate system is critical to their right to life, and the government must do something. It's a big case, and it's a case that is likely to affect other jurisdictions on climate change. Now, but the hidden story behind this case that I'm interested in, how did it happen? It happened because they had succeeded in embedding environmental education, education about the society in that small community. So the children, they knew, that they needed to take an action. They had knowledge. So they were not tying themselves up. They wanted to take a positive action that would bring about, because they had the information and they had the support of their parents. They had the support of civil society organizations. They had the support of the universities. So it was the professor that came up and developed the case and said, okay, this is what you need. The scientists came in and said, this is the science you would need to prove your case. And all this pro bono. And so it's a case to watch for. But it came about because of partnership. Sustainability was embedded from the university. It came into the community, the society, and that was where we were. So, to close, the campus of hope. I'm saying, show me a world where linked hands, partnership, disperse wealth and knowledge. Communing minds create energy. Choruses of excited voices sing equality. Give me sustainability of substance, and I will give you the future. For one cannot understand time without first knowing hope, not fear. And one cannot hope without an imperishable future. We can create it. Only then can we link the past, the present, and the time to come. Things need not remain this way. Let's rise. Let's soar like the eagle. Let higher education once again be a place for cultivating minds, not merely a production line for spitting out cavalier drones. Universities can be more. There is a future that is possible, and it is in our hearts. It's in our heads and hands. Let's create it for our children. Let the young once again look to universities as a place where dreams never die and hope flourishes. The campus of hope. University of Bristol, the campus of hope. Thank you.